Good morning. Oh, that music is so wonderful. My name is Sarah Watts, and on behalf of Stefan Schneider and worship producer Vincent Rains and others on the worship team, I welcome you to worship at First Unitarian Church of Oakland. Please note we are recording this service, so if you don't want to be in the recording, keep your camera turned off. For the best viewing experience, we recommend you install the Zoom app on your device and update to the latest version.
Hello, my name is Mary Lane, and I am a member of the Board of Trustees, and we are so glad that you are here. We are an intentionally multi-generational, multiracial, multicultural, inclusive, and anti-oppressive religious community. You are welcome here. We invite you to fill out the guest connection card you will see in the chat, and we want you to be able to support your exploration of what's available in our community that interests you and how you might participate. Welcome. Now, before we begin our worship service, we have a few reminders. First, let me cough a little bit. Sorry. Okay. September 14th at 6:30 p.m., the Justice Team will meet. For information, please contact justiceteam@uuoakland.org. On September 20th at 7:30 p.m., there will be the Meditation Sitting Group. The First Unitarian Meditation Sangha welcomes meditators of all backgrounds and experience levels. They start by saying prayers of loving kindness, sit silently for 40 minutes, and conclude with check-ins and gentle conversation. Please email Carol Emmert at meditation@uuoakland.org to join the email list. Saturday, September 25th, 10 to 4, is the Women and Religion Virtual Fall Retreat. Are you interested in making new beginnings with new friends and old? There will be learning sessions, affinity circles, and a keynote speech by Paula Cole-Jones. To register before the September 20th deadline, see the article in Chalice Chatter. Thanks.
Good morning. We light our chalice this morning. We light this chalice, a symbol of Unitarian Universalism. May it remind us of the divine spark in all creation, the power of love to heal what is broken, and to be grateful for life's blessings each day. We light our Black Lives Matter candle in solidarity with the Black Lives Matter movement and work for the day in which all Black lives are treated equitably, with dignity, and with justice. We light our peace candle this morning for the whole world, that we can heal everything that's going on right now. To quote Eleanor Roosevelt, if it isn't enough to talk about peace, one must believe in it. And it isn't enough to believe in it, one must work at it.
All right, now is the time when you get to unmute and greet your neighbors for just a couple of minutes, and then I'll tell you when it's time to mute yourself again.
Hello, everybody.
Morning, everybody.
Morning, everyone.
Morning, everyone. Hi, Marcy.
Hi, Marcy.
Hi. Hi, Claudia. Hi,
Carol, and your
Hi,
Mary Jane.
Corliss.
Hey, hi, Jane.
Hi, Hester. Hi, Marilyn. Hi, Deb.
Hi, Gary.
Hi,
Claudia.
Hi, Debbie.
Good morning.
Hi,
Hi,
Mary.
Debbie. Ingrid.
Marcy.
Hey, Claudia, rhythm girl.
Hi, Dennis. Hi, Greg and Emily.
Morning, Marcy.
Morning.
Hi.
Morning,
Hi, Cheryl.
MJ.
Hi, Jody.
Hi, Debbie. Hi.
Good morning, new people.
Yes,
Mary,
new people.
Cheryl.
Marilyn.
And-
Hello.
Oh, good
Hello.
morning, Debbie.
Morning, Susan.
Kathleen,
Kathleen.
Hi,
Hi.
Everybody.
Dawn.
Hi,
Hi,
Corliss.
Jody. Ooh, Barbara Doors.
Hi, Jo-
Hi, Carlos.
Hi, Jody.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, Ingrid. Hi.
Well, it sounds like we might be done with our greetings. So,
Never.
well, all right, for the time being. We'll take a pause. So if you would please check and make sure you are muted. Thank you. And we will begin our service today with several short readings from Stefan.
Good morning, everybody. I am very excited to be leading worship this morning with Sarah and Mary and Vincent, and I want to thank them for their participation. Before we get started with the readings, I'm going to change my hat a little and put on my facilities manager hat for just 1 second, because I have the opportunity to talk to all of you about this. And it's about our reopening plans, where we're going, the decisions we've been made. I'm going to make it brief. If you have any questions, you can put them in the chat and I will answer them after service. But right now, we remain closed, as we all know. We were going to be opening with our first service today. And that has been, of course, postponed because of the Delta virus and how contagious it is. And so we look at both Reverend Soto, the reopening team, the ops team, and the board. We're watching things pretty closely, and at some point we will reopen. Just a couple things to update everybody as far as when we do reopen. At this point, the sanctuary and the church is ready to reopen. So once we make the decision, we can reopen. We have, while we've been off, we put in a new internet, which works great. And our plans when we come back is to have in-person services, but also live stream our services. We're putting in a nice live stream system. The reason for this is if for our seniors, if they can't come to service, they can still watch the service on live stream. If someone doesn't feel safe coming back to the church, they can watch the service on live stream. And plus it gives us a good archive document of what we're doing. So that's all I have to say about that at this point. But if you have any questions, I am always free. There's a great team of folks that are smart, conscientious, and are working for the good of the church to make sure that when we return safely and safe for everyone that comes back. So the first reading today, I'm going to do a couple of just short readings. And this is the first one. Although time seems to fly, it never travels faster than one day at a time. Each day is a new opportunity to live your life to the fullest. In each waking day, you will find scores of blessings and opportunities to be positive. Don't let your today be stolen by the unchanged path or the indefinite future. Today is a new day. And our second reading this morning is one of my favorite readings, and I read it pretty much every Sunday. And it goes like this. It's Sunday. I am alive. I'm breathing. God has given me another day. I am thankful. I am blessed just for today. I will look for joy in all things. I will enjoy what is beautiful. I will listen. I will learn. And I will believe. So now we are going to hear from a combination of crescendo choir and joyful noise in a virtual video, This Little Light of Mine. That was great. I remember doing that, and those virtual videos are fun. They're nothing like singing to the congregation live, but thanks for everyone for doing that. And Vincent, who puts those all together, it's quite a job syncing all those voices and videos. So this part of our service is what's called the wisdom story part of the service. And it's thinking about the service, I was going through, I'm not a big reader, and I don't know that many stories. And as I thought about it more and more and more, I realized that I know lots of stories. I remember an old friend of mine years ago who was a songwriter told me that every song starts with a story. And so today, the story that I'm going to share with you was written as a story, but is now in the form of a song. And also, it gives me the opportunity to perform live in front of the congregation, which is also something that I've missed dearly. So this song I'm going to sing this morning was by Claudia's friend, Beth Nielsen Chapman, and it's called This Life That's Lent to You. Come outside, the sun is shining, and the sky is endless blue. The leaves will sigh, the wind reminding that this life was lent to you. Say goodbye to all the bad days. Silver line, the clouds roll through. May you find what makes you happy in this life that's lent to you. In everyone's heart there will be sadness for some of the choices that we made. But the river of time flows behind us and softens the edge of our mistake. So come outside and walk this garden. Drink the light like roses do. Gentle heart will ever harden in this life that's lent to you. In this life that's lent to you.
Beautiful song. Thank you, Stefan. So David and I took a cable car ride last month. We had been hunkering down pretty much for the last 18 months, and we just needed a lark. Just like all of you, we've been steeped in all of the caution and wariness that life requires of us now, to the point that it seems normal to feel that everything and everyone is a potential threat. This is not a healthy way to live. So we cautiously decided to get out and ride a cable car. We figured it would be safe riding on the outside of the car, masked, facing away from the other passengers. We went to San Francisco, stood in line, and got ourselves on a cable car. Everyone on the car was noticeably wary of each other as we started up the hill. But the views and the wind in our faces, blue sky up above, and the pure fun of it were just too good. And we all started to let go a little, to smile at each other behind our masks and even chat, pointing things out to each other as we passed them. We crested the hill near the top of Lombard Street and saw Telegraph Hill with Coit Tower off to the right and Alcatraz and the bay up ahead. As we headed down the last steep hill, I could feel my grip loosening even more. Not on the pole that I was holding, I had a good firm grip on that, but on all that caution and wariness and distrust. It was just no match for the cable car ride. By the time we got to the end of the line, I felt something unfamiliar. Joy. Pure joy. I was smiling so much under my mask, I must have looked like a fool, but I had surrendered to joy. When we got off the car, I looked at David and burst into tears. I hadn't felt such pure happiness in so long. That ride gave me back something that months and months of seeing my fellow human beings as threats had eroded. That narrowly defining who could be in my circle and who had to stay out had erased. That bad news and disasters and smoky skies had hidden. It was we, as in we occupy this shared space together. We live our lives together. We have families and jobs and kids together, all of us. It was the joy of recognition in another person's face. There are vaccines for diseases, but there are also personal vaccines. These are the things we do to protect ourselves against despair or grief. Other people are my vaccine. Even being the introvert that I am, relationships, even, or maybe even especially, fleeting cable car ride kind of relationships are my vaccine. The little unplanned relationships that help me like human beings more than I do when I read the news, that help me connect rather than suspect, to localize rather than globalize. These are my vaccine. It wasn't just being on the cable car in a beautiful place that made the ride so special. It was doing it with other people, sharing it with other people. It was looking a stranger in the eye and smiling at them and having them smile back, even from behind a mask. That is good medicine.
Now, Crescendo Choir will sing for Oh, the Glory of the Lord.
Glory
boy, do I miss that. So for my reflection / homily / sermon / story, I'm going to tell you today, and hopefully it's a meaningful story to me, and I hope I can make it all the way through. I had a hard time a couple of times when I was practicing it, which, we do that. So this is the story of Pedro. I've always found my spiritual grounding in music. The words to a song, a soaring melody line, a certain chord. That's what feeds my soul and my spirit. And like every good Unitarian Universalist, I have always questioned most of the deep spiritual beliefs. Is there a God? I don't know. Maybe. Is there a heaven? Is there a hell? I don't know. Maybe. Is there life after death? Is there reincarnation? I've never been able to grasp these concepts. I have always been on the side of being a skeptic. I do believe there is a higher power, but I really have no clue about anything else. The story I'm going to tell you is a true story. Happened several years ago, and it changed my life. To give you some history, my family would go camping at Lake Tenaya in the high country of Yosemite National Park every year when I was a child. I was a babe in arms the first time I went, and I have visited this lake pretty much every year in my 70 years. It is a special place for my family. There's a rock at the west end of the lake that is the resting place and the memorial for my parents, my 2 siblings, and several dogs. Of course, not physically, but in spirit. It is our holy ground. Every year, when the snow melts and the road opens, I take my first trip up to Tenaya Lake. And I say to myself every time that I am leaving to go up there that I am going to visit the family. It's kind of a pilgrimage for me. I hike to our rock. I reflect. I sit quietly. I sometimes sing Sunshine on My Shoulder by John Denver because that was my mom's favorite song. As I sit, I have conversations with my family, many of them long gone. I only stay for a brief period of time because that's enough to feel their spirit, know that that's where they are. I think about the past and I look for the future. Then I go and I enjoy the wonders of Mother Nature she has given us. I pretty much take my guitar everywhere I go because, you just never quite know when a song is going to hit you and the spirit is going to hit you. And so frequently I'll pull off to the side of the road and take out my guitar and start playing and singing. So after I visit the family one time, I was sitting on the shoreline. I was playing and singing. Nothing like singing in the crisp, cool air of the mountains. So I was sitting on this ancient granite boulder, looking over the still lake. I heard some rustling in the forest. I turned around and I saw a man walking out of the forest right towards me. He walked up to me and he said, "I am drawn to the music." He was a slight man, Hispanic, Native American origin, and he introduced himself. He said, "My name is Pedro." And I introduced myself. As we shook hands, we looked at each other in the eyes. And there was this feeling. I had never had this feeling before. I wasn't sure what it was, but it was powerful. We sat down on a couple of boulders and we started to talk. We shared stories. We were the same age. We were both recovering alcoholics with the same amount of years sober. We had grown up in different parts of the country. We talked about why we were here. He was on a pilgrimage to walk the Indian trail of his ancestors, from Lee Vining to Yosemite Valley, following the route that they took. He was overnighting at the lake. I shared with him that I was here to see my ancestors as well. We talked as if we were old friends, with an ease that only comes from knowing someone for a very long time. We shared our stories, so different, yet so familiar. As we talked, both Pedro and I knew, when we talked, Pedro and I knew that we had known each other at a different time in a different place. The feeling was unexplainable, but it was real. After a while, we shared our stories, we talked, we knew that there was no more to be said. So we stood up, we gave each other a hug. He said to me, "I wish you well on your journey, my friend." And I said the same. And Pedro walked back into the forest. Well, I sat there for the longest time in silence. After a while, I knew that I had to surrender to the possibility that this was real, because it was. I know deep down in my soul and in my heart that Pedro and I had been friends before. And this encounter changed my life. It opened me up to things that I had never believed in or thought of before. It opened my mind to the mysteries of life and is still with me on my journey now. Now, when I go up to Lake Tenaya, I go up and I visit the family. Then I also go over and sit on the boulder that I talked with Pedro. And I visit with the spirit of my friend. Thank you.
Thank you for that beautiful story, Stefan. Now is the time in our service when we consider how much this church means to us and how much we can give back to our church community. I give generously to this church because you are all so important to me. I first came to this community after the 2016 presidential election. I had lost hope and was desperate to restore my faith that we as humans could do better by one another. And here I found all of you, a community of love and optimism and acceptance. And you took me in and you mended my heart. We are in a pandemic now. Things will continue to be hard. And new challenges may rock us in ways we don't yet understand. But we have been here together, you and me, for more than 150 plus years. And we will continue to be here, our community, together, come what may. And that is why I give. I invite you to consider the importance of this enduring community in your lives and to give generously. Please see the information on ways to give in the chat. Now, will you join me in saying the words of congregational commitment together? To the work of the church, which is weaving a tapestry of love we call community, we dedicate ourselves, and these are offerings.
So now we will hear from, once again, Stefan and Renee with the song Lean on Me. Sometimes in our life, we all have pain, we all have sorrow, but if we are wise, we know that there's always tomorrow. Lean on me if you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. Please swallow your pride if I have things you need to borrow, for no one can fill those of your needs that you won't let show. Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long. I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. If there is a load you have to bear that you can't carry, I'm right up the road, I'll share your load. If you just call me, lean on me when you're not strong, I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. You just call on me, brother, when you need a hand. We all need somebody to lean on. You just might have a problem that you'll understand. We all need somebody to lean on. If you need a friend, call me, call me, call me, call me. Well, folks, that's our service for today. Hope that the words had some meaning. Hope that in some way that we touched your heart. I want to thank Sarah and Mary and Vincent and all of you for coming to our worship this morning. Our benediction today is one that is a tradition for Crescendo Choir. Joyful Noise has a song that we do at the end of all of our Zoom meetings called Sanctuary, which you have heard. The song that we're going to do is a song that we call Holy. The real name of the song is Benediction. It is a shaker song. Please settle in, take a deep breath, listen to the choir, sing holy, and at the end, I will just extinguish the candles. Holiness
Thank you, everyone, for joining us in worship today.